Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's exciting webinar Fixing Drop-offs with Triggered Emails. We are starting, so in the meantime, you can share your thoughts on this topic or where you're from in the live chat. So today's session promises to be packed with actionable insights that will help you recover lost sales and turn missed opportunities into loyal customers. I'm honored to introduce our speaker for today, Alex Danchenko. Hi, Alex.
Hi, ready to be here with you.
Yeah, likewise. Alex is the co-founder and CEO of Yespo, an omnichannel customer data platform, and Stripo as well. Alex has over 13 years of experience in management consulting and has a deep expertise in e-commerce and SaaS development. Alex is not only a seasoned professional, but also an author and trainer in business management, business process optimization, and marketing strategy. So, today, Alex will be sharing his wealth of knowledge on how e commerce brands and other brands can use triggered emails to turn abandoned cards and missed clicks into real, loyal customers. Get ready to dive into how you can leverage AI, optimize your triggered email campaigns, and boost your revenue. And throughout the session, feel free to ask any questions you have in the live chat. And at the end of the webinar, we will have a QA session where Alex will answer as many questions as possible. So, without further ado, I will hand it over to Alex to kick things off. Alex, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Alexandra. So hello everyone again. Today we're gonna speak on a very interesting topic, and as I was already presented by Alexandra, I will not add too much. I just wanted to say that being a co-founder of Yespo and Stripo feels very happy because it's like really two products that go along together well, and even strategically on a very conceptual level, I think that's a synergy that's like very important. And according to the like classical rules of email marketing, we will see how the data and email designs are really connected together, helping us as marketers to achieve best results. A few words about Yespo. It's an omnichannel customer data platform. It means that we help businesses to collect customer behavioral data on different platforms, whether on mobile app, on a website, something important happening in your offline shop, like sales or visits or usage of loyalty card. All of these data points are very important to build the proper customer-centric strategy of communications, and basically we help this to leverage sales and leverage customer lifetime value. And the way we do it, it's always focused on how to provide marketers with not just data, but with actionable data. So data that could be easily implemented in your marketing communications right away, and to make those communications real-time, engaging, and very from the position of caring about your customer, not just bombarding them with another offers. And in this way, we work with many different businesses, and some of them I'm happy to present here on this slide. They are from different industries, but mostly we are focused on e-commerce and e-commerce side of brands. We also work with retailers and work with mobile commerce applications. But basically, that's all of them are well known, and from any industry, from fashion to pet products, from groceries to home and garden verticals. We have customers everywhere, and with all of them, we have great results that are also, some of them are shown here. But I would also want to note that everything that we will cover in this session today, and even more case studies about how to implement really personalized communications in different verticals, is available on our website. And I engage you to go there to subscribe and to see the cases that are more will be more interesting for you. And yeah, today we will focus on very important part, not the only part of how data and communications, real-time communications can help you to improve your sales numbers, but one of the most important, at least I'd say that's the one that probably after the initial start of your email marketing or retention strategies, the one you should look at. So the topic is turn almost into complete order, meaning that we're gonna fix the drop-offs when users are dropping off from the funnel and from the customer journeys that you intend them to follow. And to do that with triggered emails and other types of communications. So let's start with understanding the problem. Like first of all, according to researchers, acquiring a new customer is from 5 to 25 times more expensive than just retaining the existing one. And we see that like in general, 7 out of 10 carts are abandoned, like globally on average on the websites. And just to illustrate it, just imagine this like a regular offline shop, and we see a queue standing next to the cashier, and there are 10 people, and 3 of them are paying for their products, and 7 of them just leaving their baskets on the shelf and leave the shop. So it's like visually very, very hard to understand, but there's a huge opportunities in that. You see that when it's like 2 times more people could be your buyers but are not, and it also could be estimated as $4 trillion of dollars revenue is lost due to uncompleted customer journeys, abandoned carts every year. And it is estimated that about half of that sum could potentially be recovered. And we will focus on the way how we actually can do that. From those 3 people who would still make a purchase, only 28% of them will return to make another purchase from the same store. And it means that retention is also super important to drive to achieve the good profits for every business. And it proves that losing those sessions and customers is actually the real money that businesses could have had, but they do not have. And that certainly is a lot. In this journey on your website, the users can abandon you like basically on every step. Every step they do, like go from one page to another, it's an extra effort from them, providing and picking the proper product, adding it to cart, providing the address for delivery, or providing a cart number. So there's plenty of reasons why people are dropped off. But if we know when exactly this drop-off happened, it's a very important information for us, because it basically gives us a cue about what are the reasons of people, why didn't finish this, didn't move to the next step. And if we properly build our communication and will re-engage people addressing those problems they could probably face, this would provide us with a strategy how we can bring them back. And we can install like so-called safety net, the triggers that for every reason people become inactive, we will find a reason to bring them back, and we'll communicate with them in the proper language with proper content. So what are those triggers that could potentially bring us our users? Like by definition, triggers are automatic responses to certain actions of users or their inactivity or some changes in their behavior that help us as a marketers to maintain the relevant and timely communications with them. And they are very effective. We know that triggers generate usually around 24 times more revenue per one email sent comparative to regular bulk campaigns. Of course, we speak about email in the first place because basically you are the audience of Stripo, and email is really the most important channel of communication in e-commerce. But I would also say that it's important to think a bit broader and take into account that some people nowadays they prefer WhatsApp or SMS message to get some promos or some reminders. So we have to be flexible, and we have, like in this example, be able to adapt our communications basically on the way where in which channel customers are active recently, and basically be ready to be there where our customer is in that channel that they prefer. The importance is also proved by numbers. The triggered email campaigns can generate 4 times more revenue and 18 times more profit. They have higher open rates and they have higher CTRs, meaning they provide a very important engaged flow of users, which is very important for us as email marketers, because if you only do mass campaigns, which could be of low engagement, like 10% open rate, if we provide the communication which is more engaging, it also improves deliverability, it improves the reputation of us as a sender. So that's also another non-direct consequence of using triggered communications. And eventually, triggered messages can account for up to 20% of online shop revenue. So, okay, triggers are important. The problem is huge, but how do we address that? How do we build the proper trigger communications? And here we get back to the basics. The 5R rule of email marketing: deliver the right message, right to the right people, in the right moment of time, through the right channel, with the right context. I think everybody here knows that rule, but it's hard to understand how exactly to do that. And there are slightly different tools that have to be in place to make it. And those tools, as they have to be reactive to what people do or not do, they have to be based on data. And the first part of the rule, right message, is basically something that Stripe is responsible for. To deliver the right message means create email that resonate visually, emotionally, contextually, and they look great. It's professional-looking templates. They provide brand consistency, because your email have to look the same way as your website looks, and it has to be the same logos, the same colors, the same fonts, so people keep the understanding. Okay, that's the brand I just worked with. It has to be able to support personalization and localization. It has to, by default, flawless rendering, whether it's dark mode or light mode, whether it's a small screen device or is it a big screen. So everywhere this email should look great and perfect. And that's, again, what we thank Stripe for. And the other R's are something that solutions like customer data platforms are responsible for. The right people means that we have to target the correct audience and segment them using accurate data about their behavior and our understanding of their interests. Right time means to send at the optimal moment in the customer journey, to adapt to the daily rhythm of people. If they prefer to look through emails in the evening, it's one story. If they like early birds, and it's another. We should also take into account the timely of reminders depending on how people think about our product. I will talk about it a little later. Of course, it's the right channel. The email is number one, but also it's super important to be able to communicate with your audience through push notifications, SMS, some messengers, for instance, WhatsApp and others. And right context, which is one of the most crucial things on my mind. It means that your messaging should be aligned with customer current situation, whether he's discovering a product or he was inactive for a period of time, or he was just visiting, or we should take into account his life cycle stage and his all his previous interactions, whether he purchased something from us before, how was he satisfied, and so on. And CDP is a gateway to build this email marketing based on data. The good design is super important thing. That's what people see in the first place, how it looks, how it feels, does it look nice on their device. But good design should be combined with accurate customer data for proper personalization. In just one email, we can have several elements of personalization based on some demographical data, based on existing static data, the first name or something else. We should personalize based on past behavior, what people were viewing on our website. It should also take into account some predictions about not what he was looking for before, but probably what is better to advise for him to purchase in future, some next best offer for this customer. And triggered emails is quite a well-known strategy in general. I think that it's more than 10 years, different solutions like marketing automation are offering triggers, and that's fine. But there has to be a lot more than just abandoned carts. Abandoned cart is something that most of businesses have. Sometimes actually not, but in most cases, abandoned carts are present. But what we see, there's a lot more opportunities and a lot more moments of customer journey when we can trigger the communication and provide customer with a better experience. It's not just abandoned cart. And we have this set of I'd say standard workflows for e-commerce that like basically could be separated in two main parts. One of them is workflows that target conversion and improving the conversion, which are abandoned cart, abandoned browse, price drop on some products, reduced price on similar products, and so on. And there is another basket of retention and reactivation workflows that help us to work beyond the initial conversion and work with customers in the long term. They include back in stock notifications, next best offer, win back campaigns, special offers, and so on. And all of them, so how we approach this trigger communication in Yespo, we kind of package it in the must-have best practices for each e-commerce store. Of course, there might be some changes. Like for instance, you do not have a wish list feature on your website. Okay, then we will not use the wish list related triggers, but the rest is always present. So it could be adjusted to every business. It could be a lot more actually, and we have businesses that have like 70 triggers and more. And we will cover this in the case studies today. But in general, I just want to say this is a packaged solution from Yespo that helps you to quickly implement all those triggers if they are needed. We analyzed the data from thousands of different workflows, working with like literally thousands of companies. We see what are the patterns and what are the statistics of implementing different workflows. We analyzed the triggered email campaigns and ranked them from the most effective workflows to least effective. And so, like I said, there are hundreds of them, different workflows for different occasions. We will focus on best performing workflows for e-commerce from 10th place to the first place. And what is very important that this ranking is not based on some speculation or theory. It's actual real life results analyzed and structured in the way that it would be very interesting for you. And one more disclaimer about that: they are ranked precisely by the profitability. So how many additional revenue do they bring? It's not necessarily that number one is the one you should start with implementing, because it might be a little bit complicated. But like I said, we package it all together and they could be implemented all together. That is why we will rank them only by profitability. And we will not talk too much about how difficult it is to establish, because with Yespo, it's really no-brainer. It's easy to implement. So let's start with the first one, win-back campaign. Win-back campaign is the goal of this campaign is to re-engage inactive customers, and we want to reignite the interest of inactive subscribers, fighting the churn and increase the loyalty and LTV, and following the rule of 5 R's, the right person and right time. The workflow is activated when the subscriber does not visit your website for 30 days. So we have a segment of people who were not visiting the website for 30 days. The right context is provided by email, which is sent and contains up to 6 items that were viewed before that period of time, but no more than 2 from the category, as well as up to 6 more products that are recommended by our AI algorithm. Why do you think that there is enough just 2 from the same categories? It's because when we have a 30 days window, probably the interest of the person could have been changed, but still we want to remind me something about what he was looking for before. So that's why we need to provide a good variety of offers for this person. But it's really relevant to what he was looking for and still relevant for him. This campaign, like one of the examples how this workflow works, is working automatically. I know that sometimes businesses just do from time to time promo campaigns trying to re-engage inactive users, but we think that this kind of automation works a lot better. First of all, we wait just 30 days of inactivity. We base this inactivity on their inactivity on the website, not opening email. And also, it is important that it has the proper context, the proper data that is resonating for the recipient, and that's why it's effective. So the company seminar built this automated win-back campaign, and were consistently reactivating about 8% of subscribers from inactive database. And these campaigns work separately from other campaigns which are behavioral. The same approach is implemented by Shafa, and Shafa is a fashion online marketplace. They also have this workflow, and this workflow has quite nice 5% conversion rate. Panda Shop is another marketplace from Europe. They regularly have good money from this campaign. So let's go to the number 9, price drop for viewed items. That's another workflow which is, on the contrary to previous one, is personalized, based on viewed and recommended items. But the reason for this trigger is slightly different, because in this case we want to return customers and we want to provide them with a very logical and very 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 positive for them reason for communication. So basically we send it to in the situation when user viewed a product and didn't make a purchase throughout 7 days, and which is important, the price on the product that were viewed dropped during that time. So it means that okay, I was looking at some shoes or some shirt, and if the price decreased, and we can tailor what is significant percentage of decrease, for instance, and trigger this email with products with reduced price that were viewed by this customer. And also we can enhance this offer with recommended items. Number 8, back in stock notification. It's also about caring about your customer, and one of the most improving user experience and loyalty triggers. Basically, this is the one when people were interested in your products, were viewing them on the website, but for some reason they were not able to purchase it because they were unavailable. And only for those people who were viewing those products that are back in stock, we will trigger this campaign and they will receive a notification that those items are restocked and now you can get them. The next best offer. Unlike the previous campaigns, this one is focused on the post-purchase communication. And basically, the next best offer is based on the previous purchases of a customer. It works like this. The workflow can be activated from 1 to 7 days after the first initial order. And usually this message contains the items that are frequently bought together or complementary to this product. Like imagine I purchased a coffee machine, and in a few days I have a notification about, hey, for this coffee machine there is special brand of coffee beans, or grinder of coffee, or some cleaning liquids for the coffee machine. That shows how we care about the customer and provide them with products that could even improve their experience about using this product. In this example, we show that there is a blank area which is populated automatically with the necessary product card, price, and description that would be populated automatically depending on what people see. Each of them will see a different recommendations based on what products they purchased. The next one is actually the trigger which provides even better sales, and this is a special offer trigger. With this trigger, we also work with people who already are in our active customer base. But we can address different segments differently. The workflow triggers once in a month, for instance, the first Monday of each month, and it contains automatically picked offers that you have running in your store currently, and we can separate, pick the right people and right contexts. For basically, it works for 3 main segments. The new customers that will be motivated to place a second order, and we will use the wording specifically for these people. Regular customers who are interested, engaged, and we want to offer them something to continue purchases. And inactive customers that will feel motivated to visit your site or your mobile application and take advantage of special offers. In this case, we would probably focus more on discounts Um, and this trigger also works automatically, just pulling the necessary data per each segment. So we're in the middle of our list, and number 5 is price drop for products in abandoned cart. Like very hot segment of people who already even added products to their cart but didn't finish the purchase process. Um, Basically, it helps us to reactivate those people with even more resonating offer, because it's something that was already in their basket, and now the price dropped on this basket, on these products. So this automation activates if a person added an item to cart and throughout 7 days the price on these items decreased. If, of course, we will focus only those people who did not make a purchase throughout these days. And for this offer, the right context would be to populate email with up to 6 items that are in the cart and that price were reduced. New arrival announcement. We are using this trigger to stimulate interest and engage customers who showed interest in a specific category. So while they were browsing the website, we can identify which category they are most interested in. For instance, if I was looking for running shoes and I was spending more time, especially with these categories, this probably is my interest. And for such people, we can trigger automated notification that in the category of running shoes, we have new arrivals that might be interesting for you. We show care about the customer because we take into account what he was really interested in, not something else that we also have some new products that we already also have. But we will show them those which are relevant for him and for the category he was interested in. That's number 4. And it's very, very effective trigger, especially for fashion. So we come into the third place. And third place takes the trigger price drop for similar items. The goal of this trigger is to motivate customers to make a purchase. The value is that we will show more options that are on sale now. So basically, we want to find people who didn't complete the purchase. So they visited and viewed the product and some other products from this category probably. And if the price drops for products which are similar to the ones he was looking at, it is also a good caring about a customer to show me, okay, you are looking for this particular washing machine, but there is another washing machine that's on sale now. And of course, it's important that we should know somehow which products are like actually similar to the ones the customer was looking at. And that's where recommendation algorithms help us. They help us to predict which products are most close together based on the price, based on the features, based on the description. That's what AI is responsible for. Basically, this AI will populate us with the data which products are similar to the ones we used, and we'll put them into the email. So second place, probably it will be a bit of a surprise for you, because now we will have the king of triggers, abandoned cart. And yeah, the most popular trigger, the most effective one, but apparently there is number 1, which is even more effective, even more profitable. But let's pay attention to the second place. So the the way it works, we want to increase sales, helping to reactivate the people who abandon their cards, and we can segment people who did not complete the purchase within an hour. And to those people, we will send an email that contains basically everything that was in this cart. Typically, we make it like 3, 6, or 9 items, depending on how many of them were in the cart, and just gently reminding about it. The tricky thing here is, so should we do it in 1 hour of not completing the purchase, in 2, 3, maybe in a day? Like basically the tests is the answer, but there is a logic behind it. For impulsive purchases, like in fashion industry, you have to be quick. You have to remind people in 1 hour, maybe in 30 minutes. But for products that are more costly and they demand more consideration, probably the 1 day is better to let people think about the purchase and remind them gentler in the next day. And for abandoned cart, let's look at the statistics. On average, abandoned cart emails have a very high open rate of nearly 50% and good click-through rate of 21%. And up to 50% of people who clicked in the email would complete their purchase. As a result, it usually brings the e-commerce up to 10% in sales. And which works even better is combining of emails with additional channels. So basically the workflow should be combining, okay, we send an email. If it's not opened in 1 hour, we have to use another channel. And here the omnichannel workflows work the best, where we can add web push notifications, or we can add app inbox notification, or use some messenger like WhatsApp to help customer to complete the purchase. From the stats that we have from several companies in fashion industry, we see the case study of 25% conversion rate from abandoned cart workflow, with the kids products, which is brand Antoshka, like 50% of triggered workflows revenue comes from abandoned cart. So it's like huge domination of this trigger in all the communications. And with automotive products, we see a nearly 3 times order volume increase implementing this classical workflow. And the first place, probably you're surprised, but this is abandoned browse. The goal is to proactively re-engage users who viewed products on the website or in the app. Basically, these people are higher in the funnel. They did not even add anything to their cart yet, but we already see their interest. And we trigger the workflow when the product is viewed, and it was not added to cart, it was not purchased in the offline shop. So in this case, within an hour, we can send this notification, and typically it contains the products that were viewed by the customer. And the email should contain 3, 6, 9 recently viewed items. Basically, it could be a different structure, but in the examples we usually see, it is like this. It also could be omnichannel, like in this example, we have a message sent in Messenger. And the statistics here are like this. The open rate of abandoned browse is very high. It's 80% higher than standard emails, and CTR is 50% higher than standard emails. And revenue from one triggered emails like this is nearly 4 times higher than average marketing emails. And here we could have a discussion. So, but why abandoned browse works better than abandoned cart? Well, I think if we will look at that mathematically, the people who made and add products to cart there is a lot less of them than people who are just viewing something on your website. And though the conversion rate of abandoned cart email would be higher than abandoned browse, but the amount of people for whom we can send this trigger and for whom it would be relevant is much, much like exponentially bigger. And that's basically what provides a great additional revenue uh, precisely from this workflow. Um, this workflow has great open rates. They have very good average CTR. And as I mentioned before, this is number one trigger in e-commerce currently, according to our study based on thousands of different workflows. At this moment, I would probably take a pause and look if we have some questions. Okay. So Kate, thank you for your question. My e-commerce brand struggles with personalization at scale. What are some practical steps to make triggered email feel personal without spending hours on setup? Well, I'd say that the automation and triggers as automated communications, of course, they require some time for a setup. And that's what probably something that you have to do anyways. But the great thing about automation that after initial setup, they would work permanently without your involvement. And if you will provide the proper personalization in this email, like the examples like I showed you, so the proper timing, proper audience, proper context, the proper products that people were interested in, the proper reasoning behind every communication. That basically the necessary practical steps that will provide you human-like and customer caring communication. So if so, some efforts have to be in place anyways. The good thing here is that you can rely those part of this burden on the shoulders of some professional team, like for instance Yespo. We would be happy to help you with that, because that's part of our solution, is basically the packaging of those communications and providing the business with the set of all those triggers. And typically it could take like from 40 hours of work to like 160 hours. So basically in a month everything should be working. Thank you for your question, Kate. So hello, Artem. Hello, what's the best timing and number of emails to include in a cart abandonment sequence to maximize recovery rates? That's very, very good question that I would not address with a precise number. I will explain. It's really, really depending on the type of a product and the type of the audience. Because the frequency of communication could be really different in different e-commerce industries. Like for instance, the marketplace that we will talk about later, they have, I guess, 10 nudges in their cart abandonment in different channel, which would at first look like too much for me, but the strategy they implement, it actually works. And A/B testing is the only thing that could prove us right. So the good thing here is to add extra step in different channel with modern solutions like customer data platforms is like quite an easy task. So you can do this A/B testing very easily and measure what works best for you. And of course, we should be not annoying people too much, but if it works, it works. Okay, so the next question from Laura. Hello, Laura. How can we make cart abandonment emails stand out without being too pushy or repetitive? Well, the first thing I would say is that probably instead of using just cart abandonment emails, use additional reasons like price drop or wish list or add viewed items, and also about the content. If you will just send an email, hey, you left something behind, come back, it would not work today. It used to work 10 years ago, but it doesn't work now. In order to show the care about the customer, we really need to show that we know what you are interested in, and we prepare something for you based on your interest. So that's the kind of caring that we can provide the customer, and that's how we should address this, not to be pushy. Okay, so we had a short break answering the relevant questions. Thank you again for the questions, and we will continue. So how can we do those triggers even more effective? So how to go to the next level of personalization? Like first thing is basically that we should be able to combine all the technologies together. So the good trigger is not just event abandoned cart, like sometimes we see. The good trigger is a mixture of segmentation, taking the proper audience, taking into account customer profile, his previous purchases. We could also use personalized product recommendations, and all of that together provides us with a really great results. According to the numbers, the ready-made triggers enhanced with product recommendations, and based on the data that is collected together in one customer profile by CDP, is basically the fundament to get better results. From the case studies we have, it's usually provides 3 times better ROI, and basically the best, the better revenues for the businesses. And what are the additional elements of this solution? So first one is segmenting. The segmentation is an examples before, and even for more advanced triggers, we will have even more precise segmentation. So it's the segments based on behavioral data, on product views, category views, added to cart, checkouts, and so on. The segmentation could take into account activity in messages to take the proper channel of communication. It could be by demographical data, predictive segmentation, by custom event, and so on. Predictive segmentation that I mentioned before is a way when we do not make just segments by several parameters, like was active or made a purchase 3 months ago. So it's not just picking the active audience like we usually do with email service providers. In this case, we delegate the segmentation to AI. And AI, unlike the marketer, can take into account a lot more data points. You could find similarities between different groups of customers. It can see patterns in the behavior. And basically, it can take into account some people that you would otherwise would not include in the predictive segmentation, in the segment for sending a campaign. But on the other hand, it could also exclude people who are most likely are not gonna be engaged with this type of communication. Product recommendations, again, the solution that is on the market for a period of time already, like I'd say 7 years. Of course, everyone was excited with product recommendations that were first implemented by Amazon, and we were looking at them But nowadays, the technologies moved so fast and provide us with a lot more capabilities that now we can use product recommendations based on more advanced algorithms, based on additional understanding of large language models, the essence of the products. And basically, the product recommendations currently are a lot more advanced, a lot better and effective. And second thing is that with solutions like customer data platforms, you can utilize those recommendations not only in email itself, or not only in I'll rephrase, not only in triggered email itself, where it usually based more on session level data, but also take into account all the previous history of this customer and provide like real personal recommendation, but not only in triggered email, but also on the website, but also in all the direct channels of communication. You can utilize them in RCS channel, in WhatsApp, in push notification, in your mobile app. You can also use those product recommendations in your bulk emails and providing more personalized approach to all the recipients of your emails, not just those who, not only in triggered emails. And for every step of the customer journey, we could provide a slightly different type of recommendation, because depending on what we know about the customer, of what are his today's interests, the different data points are available and different algorithms should be implemented. Because, for instance, we have a new visitor on the main page. We don't know yet anything about this visitor. In this case, the product recommendation could probably go only with the most popular, the best, the most valued, and so on. But once he goes to the category, we already know, okay, the category is socks, and then all our product recommendations should adapt, and that we have another data point about what are the potential interests of these customers. When he goes to particular products or views several products, it gives the algorithm a lot more data points, and he can predict a lot better what would be the most resonating content. So I want to sum up with the case studies of a smaller and a larger brand. Natalie Bulgar is a Ukrainian brand that is creating stylish clothing, and they implemented certain trigger workflows from the professional plan of Yespo. And the result was increase in 7.5 times the revenue from all the trigger communications. So before that, they also had some automations, but the pro plan from Yespo is something that delivers the best results, and they're very happy with that. Prom UA is like totally different beast. It's a huge marketplace with 50 million visitors monthly. And there is a whole retention team of like several dozen people working on it. They personalize the engagement with millions of customer users triggers, and they implemented over 70 automated campaigns, taking into account all the behavioral data about that. And the revenue share from direct channel increased 5 times, and the total sales of the huge marketplace increased by 10% due to these implemented workflows. For different business or for different scale, the workflows and triggers work very well. Of course, different amount of efforts should be implemented. So if you want like standard 13 triggers, or you want 70 fancy triggers, it's a slightly different level of efforts. But I'm happy that Yespo is a good enough solution for dealing with smaller businesses and the larger businesses as well. So how this could be implemented? For real, despite the complexity of the processes that I described you, the way to start up is quite easy. Like I mentioned, answering the comment from one of the viewers before, so we try to make it like really easy for a marketer, because we know how difficult it is to negotiate the proper changes in the website, to hire a product development team to change some APIs and so on. So basically, we want to provide the easy like plugin like solution. The typical flows for WooCommerce shops or Shopify shops would be the plugin integration. For most of the other shops, we just using GTM or like providing a small script to the website that would be helping us to collect the customer behavioral data, to educate our algorithms, and to build the workflows in the proper moments of time with proper content. And of course, there is a custom integration via API or SDK for mobile apps. So that's how it works. And summing up, I would encourage you to use a special offer from Yespo, where we want to provide you with consultancy and a significant discount on providing our pro plan for e-commerce and retail shops. That I'll be happy if you would look at. And in any case, there is a feedback form. If you just want to talk, you don't want to buy, I will be still very happy to get in touch with you. So please use this QR code and connect with us. And now I will get back to the questions that probably we have some more of them.
Hi again. No, we don't have any questions as for now. So I would like to say that thank you everyone for your great questions, and thank you, Alex,
Yes, thank you.
such insights today. I hope everybody leaving this session with new ideas and practical steps to help you turn almost into ordered with triggered emails. If you'd like to revisit anything we discussed, the recording of this webinar will be available soon, and we'll also share some additional resources so you can keep learning and improving your campaigns. So thank you again for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you here. Have a wonderful day and see you at our next webinar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.